TuneIn, and others. And now, let's talk tech talk.
Well, hello everyone. This is Tech Talk by Tech for Techs. So this is a live show where we help your IT business grow. If you are watching, please let us know you can hear us and see us. Obviously, let us know if you can hear and see me and Will and Jen. Cormac, I know you won't be able to hear what he's saying, so I'm not even going to try on that one. But obviously, let us all know if you can hear and see us, or if we're just talking to ourselves and you're all bored of the topic already because we're talking about Christmas in early November. So, okay, so it looks like we've got William on. How you doing, William? Nice to see you as well. And evening, Graham. I'm guessing Poppy's here as well. Yeah, Poppy's here from Celtic Computers. So,
Hello, William
there
and
we go.
Poppy and William as well. There's 3 people I saw.
That's it. So does everyone understand Cormac, or do we need to bring the translator in?
They'll understand my sexy accent. It's not a problem. They're probably swooning as we speak already.
Okay, I didn't understand a word he said, so just say potato.
No.
I'm just going to nod.
There we go. So yeah, it looks like we're loud and clear. So thank you very much, Ian. So there we go. Right. Okay. So
Ken will be with us shortly, by the way.
right, I was just about to say that. Ken will also be with us shortly. That's Ken from Canny Clever. But what we'll do is start up with Cormac. Cormac, if you want to introduce yourself, let us know who you are, what you do, and, well, anything else, if you've got a story or a tip for us as well.
Yeah, I'm Cormac from Crosshaven in Ireland and Crosshaven Computers. And if anyone knows how to fix heating, please get in touch. Please, because my heating just went. Tips, I suppose. I'll tell you what, I'm going to go back with social media. It's coming up to Christmas, obviously. And, I was doing some experiments with TikTok. We're selling an awful lot on TikTok at the moment. Say well over half our sales last week was through TikTok, And the situation being, and I was watching some shows about it and all, and the conclusion is, and it's right as well with TikTok, and this is the tip. People are doing, they're displaying it. People are still using TikTok as a selling vehicle. It doesn't work to sell on TikTok, and I know this because I done an ad last week, and it was a blatant ad, and I looked at the figures. It just doesn't go anywhere. I've done it on Facebook as well. It's not going anywhere in those. The way TikTok works is a bit like ChatGPT. And Phil, you should do a show on this sometimes because I know you're up there with ChatGPT. The ChatGPT works best when you talk to it as a human being. As you talk, you kind of talk to ChatGPT. You type in as if you're asking a personal assistant something. And that's where TikTok works. TikTok works when you don't try to sell. So like if I was on, which I am, which I'm going to do as well, like tomorrow, the next day, I'm going to do a post just and say, look, I'm wondering what tech gifts people are going to buy this year and this and that. Do you have any ideas? I want to buy something for my family and this and that. And that's what people respond to, because people are buying off us, not because of any advertising that I have done this year. It's because I've been talking to them, telling them problems, telling day-to-day business then, and you build up trust with people. So we're in a very easy opportunity for people. I keep saying about TikTok, and I know not everyone has my confidence for going on cameras. Hell, I can't dance. If you ask me to go on a dance floor, I would die. I feel like everyone's looking at me, So I do appreciate that. But I'm telling you something nice and relaxed in front of the camera and say, look, this is a computer we have. These are the computers I like. These are my favorite computers. I talk about it. Just come up and say, I'm thinking of buying tech gifts, and just talk to people. Today I was talking to people about what I was watching on Netflix. And the people who are buying off us are just picking up, and because they're saying, we just watch you because, you seem like a guy who knows your tech and we trust you. And that's what is working. So speak to the camera as you would speak to a normal person, and off you go,
That's absolutely brilliant advice. Before we go any further, I'm just going to bring Ken in a few seconds. He's just logging in, but we'll go to Will first. So, Will, if you want to give us a tip, story, any advice, if you want to follow on from what Cormac said, feel free.
Hi folks, it's Will here from Consumer Tech, based in Dunfermline, Fife, Scotland. It's slightly different to what Cormac was saying, but it's relatively connected to Christmas. For those that know me, I also have another job where I work for a local authority. And it's coming up to a Christmas market where we're implementing a Christmas market, police patrols and anti-social behaviour patrols. And this year we're one of the first local authorities to use AI with CCTV
Oh,
for Christmas shoppers, for anything that goes wrong at Christmas, basically shoplifting to the bad stuff that I don't want to talk about, obviously, on here. So we are using face recognition with AI that um, connects with profiles of people that we're watching out for and things like that. So I'm getting involved in this year and all that. So it's just amazing. It's mind blowing. And I know there's people out there that don't like CCTV and AI watching you and all this sort of jazz, but we're using it for a positive. It's just amazing. So I'm controlling the CCTV van that sits in the market area, and it's just mind blowing. And that's it's a bit speechless really how AI is working for the positive with CCTV and our officers and things like that. It's just really amazing. So yeah,
That sounds pretty good. That I'm going to say AI is gets thrown around a lot. The wording,
yeah,
to be honest, AI, and sometimes you have to think: is it AI or is it actually just someone's programmed it really, really well, and so forth. So finding the distinction between the two,
balance.
but,
Yeah.
doing something like that, it could potentially
It's
be amazing.
it's the first time I've been involved in this way with AI, apart from using Chat GPT and all that sort of stuff, you know what I mean? But to use the software that the development team has built to work with CCTV and how we can find culprits and predict scenarios, let's say, it's mind blowing actually. So I'll update everyone after the Christmas market to see how it went and things like that. It's quite good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that'd be ideal to do that. And also going back to what Cormac was saying about getting yourself your face in front of a camera or whatever
Mhm.
to do the likes of TikTok and Facebook. Just to follow up on that, I know a lot of you are scared of putting your face out there, but your face is already out there. When you go and a customer comes and sees you, they see your face. All
Yeah,
you're doing is basically extending it. Don't worry too much. No one looks perfect. That's for sure. Okay, yes, we've got Cormac on. He looks perfect as he always says,
this is
but
true.
otherwise, none of us look perfect, do we?
Yes, you do, darling.
Yeah, I was going to say you do as well, but you beat me to it then. But there we go. Let's not make this soppy. But just get your face out there. It doesn't matter if you don't have the best lighting in the world. It doesn't matter if you haven't got the best audio in the world. It doesn't matter if your camera's not the best in the world. You can do it on any smartphone this day and age. Just do it. The first step is doing it, and
I will add
progress
something
that.
there. And don't waste your money. Remember what I said there. It's not about selling. Don't waste your money on hiring an agency to do TikTok for you. It won't work. It just
yeah.
won't. And you will waste your money. And there's so much cowboys and cowgirls out there for that in the social media world. It's so watch your money on that one, you know.
Yeah, I must admit, I see a lot of marketing. A lot of these big companies do the vendors and the distributors and they have outsource, um, basically marketing companies to do them. Don't get me wrong; one or two will seem pretty good, but other ones, I'm pretty sure they just don't do anything for them. To be honest with you, so yeah, you do have to watch out for that. Right, before we go any further, let's bring Ken in. So here we go. So quick mic check, Ken. Can you hear us? And can we hear you?
Yep, I hope you can hear
Yeah,
us.
I
Yep.
can hear you, and we can understand you as well. So that's always good.
Well, that makes a change.
Right. Okay. Let's jump straight in with you then. So, if you want to just introduce yourself, let everyone know who you are, what you do, and any tips, stories for today.
Ken from Canny Clever up here in the northeast. Apologies if I sound a little slurry. I haven't had a drink. I had a tooth out
Oh,
Oh,
on
Oh,
Monday, and I've got an infection now. So wonderful.
so you need a drink now.
The painkillers are great, I've got to say. But my tip is don't be frightened to try something new, whether it's TikTok or AI or whatever. This last 6 months, we've been trying a new accounting system. Starting to pay off. This last 3 months, well, accountants reported that we are now £39,500 up on the same quarter last year,
Wow.
and I didn't realise it did anything different.
As long as last
Um,
year it wasn't zero, then that sounds really good.
Oh, no.
Well, even
It's
if
quite
it
a good year
was,
as it
that's
happens.
pretty
Yeah, even if it was
Um,
zero, it's still pretty good. But yeah,
Yeah, and it's just down to focusing on bits of the business that actually generate money
yeah,
and not focusing on the, let's do lots of jobs for free type customers. So we've realized that our business customers this last little while have been generating most of our income. So we're really focusing there, fine tuning that.
yeah.
Still doing retail in a big way, but there's more money in B2B at the minute. So we're doing both.
Yeah, sounds pretty good to be honest. Sometimes you just do have to focus or pick a niche sometimes, or something you focus on more than everything else, because a lot of the stuff you do, you generally don't make a lot of money off it. Okay, you might sell a keyboard every once in a while. Oh, wow, you've made £5 in 6 months or whatever. But if you can focus all that effort you put into selling that one keyboard, then into something else which is going to make you money, do it. So sometimes a lot of people say, oh, we need to do this, we need to do this. We're seeing this again with vendors at the moment. A lot have been struggling over the last 2-3 years because of obviously all the issues been going off. So instead of just making a case now, they now make a keyboard and mouse. And that keyboard and mouse, you can pretty much guarantee it came from exactly the same factory as the other vendor, who's doing exactly the same thing. And it seems to be a common thing these days is they're all branching out keyboard, mice, screens, SSDs, memory, even though they have nothing to do with those in the past. Everyone seems to be doing everything now.
Case in point, Phil brought in a keyboard. He showed it to me. He says, "What do you think of this?" I said, "It looks great." And he held another one next to it. And I said, "Is that the same keyboard?" He said, "Nope." And I've got to review them. And they look identical. And one was a big brand. I won't call the name out. And one was just a cheap, cheerful keyboard. And just to look at them right off, you'd never know which is which.
Yeah.
They're probably made in the same factory as well. There's a different sticker on it,
Well, the cheap and cheerful I've got on my desk right now. The only thing that I can complain about is the colon and semicolon do not work. So when I have a time, I want to put time in there or punctuate it with the semicolon. I have to put a period and adjust myself. So, yeah, that's the only beef I've got about it.
Yeah, totally agree there. I'm going to say we do find a lot. Right, let's get on to your news story for today,
Yeah,
Jen.
well, I was just going to talk about we had a visitor recently come see us, the celebrity known to the community as Hits. Hits would be known from formerly being at CMS or Gigabyte. You may have known him from Gigabyte days. We go back at least that far to Gigabyte. He came to see us and took a tour of the TFT headquarters. And I think to say that he was impressed is probably an understatement.
Yeah,
He seemed to really like what he saw.
I think he was expecting us to be in a bit of a shoebox. A lot of people don't realize how big the place is before
He
they
went
come.
upstairs, where we shoot the videos and everything, and have different stage areas. And he was looking at that, and he didn't realize that this set is just for Tech Talk. That's all we use it for. That and the occasional Zoom meeting where we have to both be on the camera at the same time. And so we have, different stage settings, and we were showing him upstairs different stage setups that we have and the testing area. And I think he was amazed at how big the place is and how we have so much detail into different spaces and everything. But Hits is at Origins now. He'll probably be knocking on your door because he's very passionate about his job. He's doing what he likes to do best, which is sell directly to you, like he did at Gigabyte. And he will take care of you. He is one of these people that will absolutely take care of you. I can vouch for him.
He's probably the most passionate person or vendor I've
Yes.
seen, to be honest with you. I think he actually, it wasn't this year, but last year was actually won best vendor, didn't he?
Yeah.
Reps. So, yeah, he's very passionate about what he does. I think they've just signed up Lexar. So if anyone's interested in Lexar goods, Origin Storage have actually got Lexar just signed up. I think there have been also a couple of others. I don't want to speak out of the context.
Some things are
not
under
finished yet,
wraps
but-
right now, so we can't talk about that.
Yeah, and we've also got some of their products in as well, their own brand SSDs and memory, which we're going to be testing. It's going to be probably mid-December by the time they're ready, as well as a few other bits and bobs as well.
I'm optimistic, though, about this company. It seems like it wants to grow, and I think Hitz is probably the one that will lead it.
Yeah.
With growing.
Wim being a director and everything,
Yeah.
he's got some power behind him now, I think, so which is good.
And I want to remind you that Tech Talk, my goodness,
Get right.
Tech Max is coming up, and I can't tell you who I've signed on this week, but you will enjoy them. I've also got Kit Guru that's going to be there giving a talk, as well as doing media and everything. And so is PCR, as in PCR Awards. They're going to be doing media there. So you go on, get yourself registered if you haven't registered to exhibit, and get yourself a ticket if you haven't gotten your tickets to come and see the big event. It's only £1 to come, and you'll get millions of pounds worth of useful information out of it.
Don't say millions. I don't want to lead people in the wrong direction here.
This time next year, there'll be millionaires.
Yeah, if everyone becomes
Robbers.
millionaire, if we get 600 plus people millionaires next year, then we've done a good job. But I have a feeling it might be a little bit off of that. I hope they do.
This time next year, there'll be millionaires.
Yeah. So I just want to cover your back before someone sues you next year for not making them a millionaire. But there we go. Right, okay. So I think that covers Tech Max, correct?
Yeah.
So that's good. Right, so let's have a look. Another bit of news, if you haven't seen, that our YouTube channel hit 30,000 subscribers yesterday. So again, thank you for everyone who has subscribed to us. That's an increase of 80% in 6 months. The only thing we've changed is not the actual content, it's how we present the content.
Yeah.
So it looks a little bit more professional is probably the best way of putting it, rather than some guy standing there and going, that's an on button, that's a case feed, that's a glass window, and it's a little bit more scripted in sense, but we're using obviously our experience, we're writing it down and getting it just right, the wording, as well as
it's our script.
The videos
it's not paid for script.
Mm-hmm.
We actually write it out and go, right, how does that read? Read it back, and no, that doesn't sound right, and we do it until we get it right.
And just to clear up one thing about our videos, is every review we do, we are not paid for it. A lot of people think we get paid for doing the reviews. We don't. We don't make a single penny from the actual product we get. We do get the products. We do keep them. I'm going to be honest, but they're actually all in the storeroom over here, which is right behind the screen, pretty much what you're looking at the moment. So we keep all those, and you'd be surprised how much stuff we've got in there. But every now and again, we purge it and give it local stores, schools, or whatever, or what I need.
Or the boss might score on a Thunder X3 court chair.
You're hoping. There you go. So basically the stuff gets used in other reviews and other things we do, and if not, it gets given away. So, but there we go. Right, let's get on to the main topic then before we go any further. So what is the topic today? Oh, yeah, a very clever Christmas. This isn't anything to do with Canny Clever, is it, the name?
Well, being it was Ken's idea, and he promised to bring Prince with him, I decided a clever Christmas.
We got in larger camera now. Here we go. Let's get him on screen.
Hello, Prince.
I'm not going to whistle and deafen everyone. There we go.
He's so pretty.
There you go. Just make him out down there. Let me put the
He's,
screen back on. There we go.
he's
Right.
not he's not spoiled honest. He's just got a big toy box there, but never mind.
That's it.
My dog had one too and would actually pick up his toys.
That's it.
My dog before used to chase his pineapple around his pineapple time, driving us mental the whole time. Beep, 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 beep. But anyway, I digress.
I don't know. We could probably do a show about everyone's pets.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
let's quickly go through the chat. It's mainly William, actually. I think it is all William. He's saying Ahura is running through the universal translator. I think that was for Cormac. So obviously, yes, definitely there. Michelle Nicholas would be proud.
Well done. That was a nerd in there, Phil. Well done, man. I got it. Well done.
We have a few nerds watching.
Yes.
So we got a lot of brands don't design their own products; they rebrand under license under people's art. Yeah, that's totally true. Believe it or not, there's people who post stuff on LinkedIn who were actually followed, whatever it's called on LinkedIn, and they basically post products what are all unbranded, and basically distributors and vendors go to them. Yeah, I'll have that one. Put my branding on it and sell it. It's a bit like you going to Vistaprint and getting your shirts done or pens done. They do exactly the same with the products, and then put it in a nice new shiny box, and hey presto, you've got a new product which had nothing to do with them. Don't get me wrong, there are brands what do make their own products. For example, Cherry make their own keyboards and switches, and obviously Kingston make their own RAM and all this, that, and the other. But there is a lot of rebranding out there for certain things. And let's have a look. William's gone on about a cat in a Christmas hat in this year's animal shelter calendar. So, okay. So that's an interesting one to show off. Right. Anyway, let's get on to the main topic and get these guys answering some questions. So anyone in chat who's watching, got any questions for any of these guys or us, let us know. And obviously we'll go through them. So let's start off then. So I'm going to start off with a difficult one, and I'm going to guess the answer to this is going to be no for everyone. But would you work on Christmas Day? And if so, how much would it cost? And I'm going to go Cormac first.
Nope. Simply, no. No one has an emergency that bad on Christmas Day. Not that I particularly really. No, I'm not really a big Christmas person, but no. The only way I would do it in any well, no one has my personal number anyway, so they won't be getting in touch with me on that one whatsoever. I might nothing. I don't even care less if people come with 2 kids crying saying Santa forgot every battery under the sun. No, ain't doing it. No, I know. I suppose if no, nah.
No.
I don't have a nah. No, just I'm trying to be nice, but no.
Tell you a funny story, Cormac. Before the show, I was looking for a picture for like a Christmas with a bit of an Irish theme, but I couldn't use any of the pictures because every single picture had a drunk Irishman in it.
Jesus
Every single one. There wasn't an Irish Christmas picture with anyone sober in it. I was like, they were all drunk or
And
holding
that's why
beer.
Cormac wouldn't leave, because he was getting his knees up.
And to be honest with you, I looked for Will as well. I was going to go do some Scottish or whatever. And all I got there was basically the same thing, or the Royals.
Yeah.
So they're always in
won't be my case, but no, we won't.
You wonder why we're drunk.
I don't know. And Ken, I didn't even have time to look for you. I just gave up after I looked for Cormac and Will. I was like, it's going to look a bit daft if I only do it for one person now. So, right, okay. So, will you work Christmas Day if someone was to pay you?
Right. I might be the odd one out here. I would help kids genuinely with troublesome that maybe over the telephone or something. Maybe give a wee bit of advice. If it was a genuine good reason for it, I would probably give them advice or offer to phone them back the next day or when I was free or something like that. But generally speaking, no, I wouldn't go out to work. I wouldn't go and help businesses and things like that. But if neighbours or anything like that needed a wee bit of hand, a wee bit of help, advice, I'd do the community spirit thing and help them. But generally, no, I'm with Cormac. I wouldn't go and take paid work on Christmas Day. No.
Right. Okay. And what about yourself, Ken?
Um, this is a difficult one. I'll split it into two. So business stuff, absolutely not. Doesn't matter how big the customer is; they're not at work, so it shouldn't matter. Retail wise, the last 2 years we've offered a helpline on Christmas morning until like 1 o'clock. Staffed by me, but not in the office. I take the dog out for a walk, and I don't really do Christmas, so answering a phone on a windy beach really isn't a problem. That said, out of all the machines we built the last couple of years, I think I took 2 phone calls from our clients last Christmas. One couldn't work out how to turn it on because she hadn't turned the power button on the back of the power supply. Then the other one got an HDMI cable in the wrong hole. So
Yeah.
nice, easy. The other 18 calls I got that morning were from customers of other operators, one of them being one of the big national ones who've got stupid adverts about wizards at the minute. And they said, well, what are we meant to do? Our shop we bought it from is closed. I said, well, that's your problem. Should have bought it from a proper shop. The ones who bought it in the pub car park, Facebook, Amazon, or wherever, sorry, you're not one of our customers. Can't help you.
Yeah.
This year, I'm going to manage a little bit differently because we've got a flashy phone system. There'll be people who've bought from or will be given a number. It's not going to be through our office main number anymore. So I might get 2 calls this year, might get none, given that everything's tested before it goes out, which we're not expecting any issues.
Okay.
Yeah, but
that's
see,
the
if you look at Graham's comment there, he said that someone knocked at the door on Christmas Day. I had that last bank holiday. I had someone come up and knock on the door from the local club and say, "Hey, we want this DVD put onto this USB." Now that's my house on a bank holiday Monday. How dare they? Now I had to be polite, but I said no. I said I'm not taking the USB because I lose it. Bring it into my office. But the audacity of someone like, why don't I go down and knock on someone's house and go, you know something? Would you mind painting my room there for an hour, just randomly? So you know what? There is no emergency out there. I don't care if a kid is crying on that day. No one needs to get in touch. Now, Ken having a phone system and all that, that's okay. But anyone who thinks it's right to get in touch and ask you to do a favor like that on Christmas Day is not worth helping. I'm sorry. It's like that. And the person, I actually helped that person when they came into the shop, yeah? And I had it because it's a local club. I said I better do it, yeah? When I was finished, it took me 45 minutes. I was up the walls, all right? When I was finished, they didn't drop me in a lottery card. They didn't drop me in a box of chocolates. They didn't drop me in a pineapple. They dropped nothing into me. And you're kind of like, no. Sorry about my outburst, but I was trying to get back with those people the last day, No, I'm with Graham and the other people who've came into the chat as well. It's just not acceptable. You don't get in touch with anyone on Christmas Day, all right?
There you go. Obviously, everyone's got their own views. Colmatt's definitely got his.
Yeah.
But my answer to that is well, every other shop is closed. Curry's is closed. I'll say the word Curry's. Curry's is closed. You won't get these customers knocking on Curry's door in the middle of the night or at 3 o'clock in the afternoon after the Queen or King's speech this year or anything like that. It's one of those things is people have got to understand what we used to do when we used to sell computers and stuff like that for Christmas. We'd usually go around to the house and do a setup service for them, and we'd make sure it was set up for them a few days before, so it was all set up exactly where it should be. If they want to put a box over it or wrap it up or whatever, they can do. But it's set up there, and if you have any problems on Christmas Day, that's your own fault because it was working when we were there 2-3 days ago. Our phones were just totally off on Christmas, to be honest, because you're going about, oh yeah, little Johnny may be crying and this because he can't get his stuff. But you have to think that your relatives, what you're supposed to be spending the day on, are going to be disappointed. And if there's kids involved, could cry because their dad, brother, uncle, whatever, aren't there to spend time with them instead. So these people generally, unless the family, which I don't like working as in selling stuff to family, to be honest. Okay, parents is one thing, but obviously extended family is another. Don't usually work and mix well, to be honest. But the
Family are
general
some of the
rule is,
worst of taking advantage
yeah,
of you.
Yeah, I was
the
going to say that.
rule
Yeah,
is no. These people will never help you if you had a problem.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
why
Simple as
should
that.
you go out your way, especially if you know it works and you've already set it up? But again, everyone's got their opinion and works differently.
well,
The
It's
the
see,
hot topic.
only ones I would help on Christmas
Yeah,
are my niece and nephew and my other
yeah.
nephew in the States. If we were in the States spending Christmas with my nephew and he was having a problem, I'd go in there and sort him out because that's what Aunt Jenny does.
But
And she,
that's totally different then, Jenny. As in, like
yeah,
we're all, we're going to help them.
eh,
That's
I want to change my response.
yeah. You're too nice, Will. You're too nice a guy. Like,
My conscience is kicking in. I'll change that to help immediate family for things like that, like
yeah,
nephews and things,
like
nieces and
we're
things
at
like
the
that.
end of the
Yeah,
day, we're not doctors or nurses or anything. We're dead
no,
people
that's
who
true. I
survive.
know.
yeah. Being Aunt Jenny knows how to do computers and probably is the more knowledgeable one in the household, I would race to go and help my
Yeah,
little Johnny with his computer because I know everybody else in the house
Well,
would just mess it up even
if
worse.
I remember right, I was searching for a drone over a golf course over
Yes, you
Christmas
were.
last year for a certain nephew in the middle of the night, trying to find a drone in the dark.
Johnny.
Is not. I actually found it the next
He
following
was in
day,
tears too because his daddy had lost his drone.
I
And,
thought it meant Phil was in tears.
and Phil says, it's got to be here. And he says, I'm going to have a walk in the morning. And he walked up to the golf course where it was last seen. And it was just laying by a tree.
So that's it. It was about 5 minutes
He
away
was the
about getting.
hero of Christmas, I tell
It
you.
was about 5 minutes away from getting shredded by a lawnmower, one of
Yeah,
these
yeah.
big ride-on ones. So lucky I went up and did. But yeah, right. Let's
Yeah.
quickly go through the chat. I think a lot of it's just been commented on anyway. Facebook user said, "Evening. If you haven't already, Facebook user, click that link. What we've already put into on the screen a couple of times, which is it's not showing it on there, but I'll put it on again in a second or two. Here we go. It's a chat restream one. If you basically go to that, it'll allow your name to be shown if you haven't done already. We've got Williams saying that we do Christmas Eve as late as required and Boxing Day to set up those systems. We deliver pre-Christmas if required. Yeah, that's pretty good. If people can't find anything else to do on Christmas Day other than playing on the computer, they should be spending time with the family, the amount of things that are on TV and stuff. If they can't wait one day, it really, yeah, I know what you're like. But there we go. We already looked at Graham on about his knocking on the door. So yeah, we went out last Xmas morning. William is at 8 a.m. to a kid in tears on Christmas. PC wasn't working. They hadn't connected the HDMI cable, to the right place.
That's a common thing.
That's
Is
it.
they put it into the motherboard instead of the graphics card, and they go, I hear things, but I don't see anything.
That's it. This is a good one as well. William saying to Graham, we now include sheets to prevent this issue with some setup instructions. That's if the
That's a
people
good
actually
idea.
read them. But yes, it is
Or
a good
can
idea.
read.
What we or I would do now if we were still doing our shop, I would actually do small videos showing them how to do certain things.
Now that's a good thing
Website,
for TikTok.
direct them there. So either TikTok or you can obviously hyperlink them into your website
That is
or
a good idea.
put a video box on your website linking to the TikTok or YouTube video you've done. And that tells people how to do it, just basic things. And then if anyone has this question, you can just direct them. Look at this video. Obviously, they can't look at it on the computer what's not working, but most people have got a smartphone this day and age, so they can view it anyway. So, which is pretty good, because 20 years ago,
That's good advice.
when we had this issue 20 years ago, you couldn't look on your smartphone to have a look what the answer was. You couldn't get on your PC. It was the end of the life. You had to go around to your friends or neighbours or someone. Or
I'll give you this. It not even that long ago, when we first got married, about 15 years now.
That's it.
I had a PDA that was Phil's for my phone, the HP one.
Mm-hmm.
It was a POS, but
and she doesn't mean point of sales.
But that's what I had to communicate on, and it was absolutely, for its time, it was advanced, but you couldn't look up anything like you can today and everything. The most advanced part of it was it had a little screen that you could see what you were texting and everything on it.
Yeah, it was pretty good device. Let's quickly go through the rest of the chats. So apparently William says I'm swearing, saying the C word. Well,
I think he meant Christmas.
If you've not come across, I don't think it means Christmas.
I don't think it worst.
Curries.
Oh.
Yeah.
Makes my blood boil.
If you've not heard one of my sayings before, William, is one of the things what we used to advertise in the shop, and I'm surprised this company didn't sue us, is we always used to basically get, we won't take the PC out of your world, and use the PC World logo and split it, basically. So I'm surprised they never actually did us for that.
That was funny, though.
Yeah, I'll have to find that out somewhere. I'm sure I've got it somewhere still. Let's have a look.
It was on an A board out in front of the store.
Oh, yeah, it was. That's it. So, Graham's going about people knocking on doors.
Speaking of that, I don't remember. I think it was Christmas or something. There was Phil and I were at his mother and father's house, and I guess we had stalkers, trying to find us. And they went to Phil's mom and dad's chip shop, chasing us down, and tried to give us a laptop in the chippy. And he wouldn't take it. He's like, nope, they're closed for the holidays. You'll have to see them after that. And
yeah, exactly.
But we have stalkers.
If a lot of you don't realise, my parents owned a fish and chip shop. I'm guessing my dad's watching, so he'll like saying this. When I started our computer call-out service, it was called Chips Computers. Because one, computers have chips, but number two, my office was above the chip shop. And so
I was wondering about that.
That works.
So it worked. So there we go. So if you're wondering, Carl, okay, exception here. Carl saying bulk of his business customers basically, and the care agencies. So 365-day cover.
Well, if it's a care agency, that's different.
Yeah,
that's different. And if you're rostered, if you're working for a company, that's different.
Yeah, exactly. If you're doing something like that, obviously, if you're looking after the NHS and stuff like that, obviously they need 365-day cover. Yeah, that's different. We're talking about little Johnny who can't get his computer on Christmas Day, basically. So there we go. I think we've caught up with chat again, guys. If you've got any questions, let's go through. Let's move on to a different question then. So are any of you guys doing anything special for Christmas? And when I say special, I need products. We'll come to stores and stuff in a few minutes, but are you doing any special products, or are you doing any bundles of products, or different things what you wouldn't do, let's say drones or anything like that?
I might start with this one, Will and Ken, because I have to go away to collect my niece, so if you don't mind, I'll start with this one.
Yep.
I'm going to answer this question by not answering it, all right? Okay, goodbye. So, I'm going to anti-answer, okay? For Christmas, I'm not doing any specials, but when I'm not doing any specials whatsoever, and I know Ken's way bigger shop now. We'll have different views on this. I ain't doing nothing for Black Friday. I ain't doing one tiny sliver of a thing. Last time I tried to cash in on it by doing Crosshaven Computers Red Hot Thursday because it was kind of the anti-Black Friday. And the situation being, it just costs you money because they're all waiting for that bloody sales. This was manufactured by bloody Amazon, all right, who, by the way, ain't even doing any sales. You know, it's just all algorithms, blah, blah, blah. And there's no way, I'm doing a whole TikTok campaign actually about not doing anything for Black Friday. Concerning Christmas, ain't going to be doing much for that for sales either, because at the end of the day, I'm a small business, all right? I know I have illusions in my head. These are all cutting into my costs, yeah? My stock rotation coming after Christmas, whatever. You know what? I'll sit tight and I'll hold my stock and sell it on. I won't have altogether that much stock if I do it right after Christmas anyway. And there's no way, unless my suppliers are dropping the supply of my computers for 50 quid coming up to Black Friday, which they're not, then I ain't going to do it. I'm not getting involved in sales and all that. I ain't just not getting involved in that culture. And I think it's time that small businesses get up and say no to it.
You know, if I didn't know better, I would take from that Cormac's not going to do any specials no matter what.
I know I am. I don't know where you got that impression. Ah, Jesus. You didn't
I didn't realise I was on with the Grinch tonight. We're on with the Grinch.
There we go.
That's an Irishman full of angst.
To be honest with you, I follow Cormac. We never did specials. The basic what we always said was basically, if a customer says, well, why aren't you doing any specials? I'll say, because we always give you the best price every day of the year, not just one. Yeah. And the same, we don't give discounts for different types of people because everyone's as important as each other.
Yeah, I had one guy come in. Hey, do you give NHS discounts? No. Military? No. OAP? No. Disability? No. And he went down a whole list, must have been 10 different ones. And I thought, my God, if this guy's got this much going with him, he's,
There we go.
And then I said, at Chips, I said, everybody is treated the same. I said, so if I give you that much of a discount, I've got to give everybody else that much of a discount, and pretty much I'm not making profit.
There we go. Right, just to interrupt you there, Cormac's got to go because he's got to do family duty at the moment. So we'll see you later.
Sorry about my rant, and Will and Ken will have more of a chance to talk. Sorry for hogging it. Good luck to you. Take care. I'll talk soon.
See you later, Cormac.
See you.
There we go. Sorry to interrupt you there because he had to go.
Well, we had to get the King of Ireland his time out. So.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, what I want to know is if anybody's doing like I don't know if this contradicts what we were just talking about, like sales, like Christmas sales, clearance sales, trying to get rid of anything.
Or anything like that. You could go by what William says in chat. He's doing like stocking fillers, screen cleaning gel, USB sticks and stuff like that. Stuff what I'll probably sell every day of the week, to be honest with you. But obviously you could bundle it up and make it like a special package or something like that.
Yeah.
What about yourself, Will?
Well, yeah, I don't have a shop as yet. Still something to think about. But what I do for customers is I do little stocking fillers like that. What I also like though, and I won't steal Ken's thunder, is I like the colourful Friday that Ken's spoke about before, and I've read up on different social media platforms that he's done on things like that. But I don't offer anything, like you say, my prices are the same all year round, and I offer good customer service. So I concentrate on that. That's my niche there that I do. Concentrate on what I'm good at. So yeah, but I know Ken's I like his colourful Fridays and things. Yeah.
There we go. It's pretty good. What about yourself, Ken?
We don't do Black Friday. Totally against it, 100%.
Yeah.
On the street where I am, we've got 91 independent businesses, and we all band together and we run the Colour Friday campaign. There's businesses up and down the UK run it. It's not just unique to where we are, but we don't offer discounts as such. I mean, we are offering a little bit off a full gaming build, but nothing
Yeah, yeah,
substantial. But every business on the street, we've all agreed, no discounts. The aim of the Colour Friday campaign is to get people shopping independent, supporting independent business. And to be honest, where we are, we're quite lucky. The local community, it's quite a reasonable one, and they do like to support local. It's still a thing. So we benefit from that. In terms of other offers and bundles, I think instead of trying to discount stuff, the aim was to get more people into the shop to see what we actually did. So we have introduced other products as a test. We've worked out that there's no toy shops within, I don't know, I think it's about 10 square miles of us. There's no toy shops whatsoever, apart from the Smiths, that big PC World equivalent for toys or
yeah.
whatever it is. So we have got a range of electric cars for kids this year. Tell you what, we'll put it in the window. We've got a green Lamborghini in the window at the minute. I think that's 399, and a Range Rover Evoque for I think it's 225 or something like that. And the amount of people who stop and look, it actually stops people walking past. So now we've started loading the cars full of computer accessories, all that kind of stuff, putting price tags on everything just to try and generate a bit of interest. And it's working. We haven't sold many cars,
Yeah,
but it's stopping people and they're coming in and having a look. And I think for us this year, it's been a slow start at Christmas. I think last year people started shopping about 4 or 5 weeks
yeah,
earlier.
yeah.
Yeah, we've started to see things ramping up the last week. People, I mean, we've always had inquiries. We've had people getting quotes now for the last 6 weeks for Christmas, but I think now they're actually starting to come in. I've had a quote, and I mean, the fortunate thing for us is we use the Target PC builder, the custom builder, so it stores all these quotes. And they'll say, "Oh, I was in, 3, 4 weeks ago." I thought, well, the price isn't valid, but let's check the prices. We can drag it straight back out of their system, load it up, and it saves us so much time. So we can actually get volume through the shop rather than just spending 2 hours talking to one family. Um, but I think in terms of product and things, yep, we're doing electric cars, we're doing the DJ stuff again, we're doing disco lights. It was somebody in the TFT group actually sold us some karaoke microphone things. They're absolutely horrific. I hate them. I can't sing to save my life, but the kids love them.
Itself.
I mean, I don't know what the RRP for the thing was, but I think we were buying them in at about £4.50 or something, and I think we're selling them at 19.99, and they're flying off the shelf. I don't know what it is, but poor singing and karaoke seems to work at the minute.
It's something I've noticed that a lot of people love to do over here, since I've been living here, is karaoke.
Yeah,
Not so much in the States. We kind of shy away from it unless we're absolutely plastered in the club.
Mhm.
But we do like I do find that the Brits over here do like to have a good sing song and
yeah.
everything.
I kind of think the advice I normally give when we're selling one over the counter is a case of if your singing's not that good, just turn the volume up and they'll not be able to hear you anyway. Just get on with it. It seems to work. But I mean, what we have found is we're getting a lot of. We haven't had the kids in yet. That's going to be absolute bedlam from next Monday. But we're getting a lot of grandparents at the minute coming in and asking questions. How much are the cars? What have you got for kids? Do you do a gift voucher? It's kind of we seem to be getting the grandparents at the minute, and the parents will be next week. Because I mean,
Yep.
where we are, it's the kids that drive the decisions. Where we are, it's the kids who are
It was the same for us.
Mhm.
It's the parents come in. It's a case of whatever Johnny wants, just give him it. It's a case
Yeah.
of great, give us your debit card, and off
Boy,
we go.
have times have changed.
Yeah.
My mom and dad would give me a budget of like $50 probably and say, well, whatever you can get for that, it's yours. Merry Christmas. Because when my brother came along, I had to give up some of my Santa money, as we'll call it, and share. It didn't mean that the budget stretched any further. It meant that we had to share. And yeah, we didn't get big pricey gifts and all. We got something nice
Mm-hmm.
that we would be happy with, and we were just happy with unwrapping it and throwing the paper around and mostly playing with the box all day that it came in. I mean, seriously, bubble wrapping boxes, and we were content all day long.
I think one of the big things for us
wasn't
this
it?
year, it worked for us last year as well. I mean, word's going around now that we let the kids build their own computer. And so I would say 1 out of every 3 quote requests is a family who said, "Oh, you built little Johnny's computer along the road with him last year. Can we do that this year for our kids?" And it's because, of course, you can. Bring them in. They can bring a couple of school friends with them as well. Then the school friends get to see it, and then they go home to their parents, and so it starts again. It just goes round and round. But it's the kids are buying into that experience now. I think it's the parents want the kids to learn how to do this sort of stuff. And we generally say it's a journey. It's not a purchase. You build a PC this year. Next Christmas, they might upgrade the graphics card, so bring it in. They could upgrade it in the shredders. Next birthday, they can get more RAM, or they can get a hard drive, or whatever it happens to be. So it's the gift that keeps on giving, as far as we're concerned.
That's we always used to say it's a bit like Trigger's broom, so you'll end up replacing all the bits, and then in the end, you've actually got a completely different computer and stuff like that. But totally agree
That
with that.
saying was used a lot at Chip's Computers.
Yeah, Triggers. Most people understood what that meant. Trigger's a broom. So if anyone watching doesn't, go and watch Only Fools and Horses. I can't remember which episode it was, but
the council person gives Trigger a medal for having his broom the longest.
Yeah. Was it the same one as the Batman and Robin one? I think maybe, or it was around
about
there because it was the same council.
So.
It wasn't the same episode, but it was around that time.
Yeah. So, right, let's quickly go to chat. Let's have a look. William says he does the blue light discount, which is the NHS one, if I'm right. Graham saying he 100% agrees with Cormac on Black Friday. I do as well, to be honest. I don't think Black Friday should be a thing. It's a thing what should be in the States. It's after Thanksgiving. They have theirs after, obviously, Thanksgiving. It's a bit like we have Boxing Day after Christmas. You don't have Boxing Day. It's leave it to America to have their Black Friday and fight over TVs in Walmart.
But we have what is called the day after Christmas sales.
Yeah, but were they as big as Black Friday?
Oh yeah.
Were they? Oh, okay.
Oh yeah.
I've never heard of them. But
the day after Christmas, you go and you can get ridiculous deals on like TVs and appliances and all sorts, because they're getting ready for the new stuff to come in the new year.
Yeah.
So day after Christmas sale, that's proper.
Our Boxing Day, the last 2 years, I decided to open the shop myself, let the staff have a day off, and I would do it myself, half a day, something like that, bank holiday hours, not thinking anybody'd be coming in, and I'd get some paperwork done. Last Boxing Day, drove up to the front of the shop to get Prince in, to get him inside, and then I'll put the car away and then walk back round. I pulled up outside the shop, and there was a queue of about 20 people, all holding boxes. And I'm thinking, Christ, what the hell's going on here? Got Prince in, came back out, I said, right, I've just got to go put the car away and I'll be back in 5. So I put the car in the car park, all that. And I came back round, and then the queue was double the size. It stretched 3 shops around the corner. And I'm thinking, what the heck has gone on? And I've opened up, turned the lights on, got the till going, all that. And, beckoned the first one in. And I was going, what can I do for you? I bought this in Curry's and we can't get it to play games. I thought, oh, God, right, okay. Let's book it in. There's your receipt. Come back in a week. Next day.
Yeah.
And we've started taking the diagnostic charge, and I think we had 40 computers booked in the first hour and a half. With people had bought computers in Curry's, Amazon, Pub Car Park, Facebook Marketplace, you name it. And having to tell about a third of them that they'd been ripped off was unfortunate, but it's hard work. It's
I will never forget a computer that came through our door. I want to say it was around Christmas time. Now, they had bought it on eBay, and they didn't know why this computer was not working. They did everything they could for people that didn't know about computers. Okay. Took the side off of it and I looked in, and immediately I said, I can tell you why it's not working. And it's nothing funny about it. The owner, when he took his SATA leads out, pulled the SATA connectors off. He did the same thing with the audio connection, the USB connection. You remember this PC, don't you? No. How could you not? I just stood there and I wanted to cry for them. I said, this is what a motherboard's supposed to look like. And I held up one. I said, now that's yours. And I remember the expression on their face. They said, well, how do we rectify it? I said, I can't fix it. This is above my pay grade right here. I said, what you need to do is file a complaint on this and get your money back if possible.
Mm.
But I mean, you'll see a lot of people get taken advantage of, and it's not just eBay. It's all over out there. They'll have like gaming rigs on marketplace kind of places, and it's got Windows 7 Pro on it, fresh install. And you're thinking, oh God, somebody's going to get taken.
I think one of the ones last year, it was the board, and it was a case of, oh God, he was having a meltdown. So I thought, we'll look at it now for you. We'll try and get it sorted. And I took the side panel off and I booted the thing up, and it came up with Windows 98. And I was thinking, this is a little bit old. And the boot screen for the BIOS was wiggling. Now, I've not seen a wiggling computer for a long time.
Wow.
And it was a case of, I'm looking at, how much did you pay for it? Oh, £650 with a flat screen. And I'm looking, whoa, hang on. And it was a brand new case. It was one of the F3 cases that sold by a couple of popular distributors with a new power supply in. But when I started to look at the board, it was out of what looked to be an old school PC, if you like.
Yeah.
And having to break that news to them, I mean, it was hard work. But
we've had that a lot of times in the store. That's the exact story. They come in, it's a nice new flashy case. Probably not even a new power supply, to be honest. And you open it up, and it's got dust in there and stuff like that. It's just a shiny case, or they've cleaned it up, put some LED lights in.
In this case, we did manage to pull something together. We spoke to a couple of distributors and said, look, we've got this family. We need a favor. If we chip something in, can you chip something in? And I think Spire and Target were the ones who helped us. Between them and us, we came up with a full working PC. And I mean, it took a week to pull it all together, but they were happy.
Still, that's something,
Yeah.
You went out of your way there to basically, obviously, make the customer happy, and even though it wasn't your fault, sort of thing. So
since then, I mean, we offer in the starting sort of October time, we run a class on a Saturday morning, 11 o'clock or so. One of the young lads does it. We've got a little handout we give out. It's how to buy a gaming PC properly. So this is what the components do, gives them the highlights, gives the parents the ammunition to sort of decide what they need, how to buy it safely, a bit on consumer rights, where to buy, all that kind of stuff. And then we offer them a quote. Even if they don't want to buy from us, I'd rather them made an informed purchase rather than...
Absolutely.
And 9 times out of 10, they would buy from us because we've given them independent advice, offered them alternatives, and we're trying to do the right thing by them.
Yeah, definitely good advice there. It is one of those things. Have you ever thought about putting that on a video, like a YouTube, or put it on your website or TikTok?
I really haven't got the face for video as such, but I'm sure I'll get one of the lads to do it.
You're on video now, Ken.
I know, it's unfortunate.
But... by millions.
So, but there we go. Right, we not far from the end of the show. We're a little bit over, but Ken sent some pictures in just before the show. We're just going to go through those. So if you want, I'm going to show these in no particular order, Ken, because
All right.
it's how they uploaded. So if you just want to give us a talk through, probably 10 seconds each one.
Yeah, I'll
Yep.
see what I can do.
Okay, so if you guys don't know, Ken's got his own store. Looks pretty nice, and these are some pictures he's taken. So here we go. This one first.
Oh, yeah, this year we've got a Santa Claus for the kids. Every Saturday in December. The dog loves him, despite the look on his face.
He looks like he's saying, "Where are those treats, man?"
That picture was taken in the middle of September.
Right.
Scared the locals half to death when they saw him walking down the street. So we've got an advertising campaign out at the minute that even Santa comes to us to configure his PCs. And the kids who come in who don't believe in Santa, as case of get beforehand, of course he exists. He comes here, and it's a case of so we're kind of reinventing Christmas, or trying to.
That's good. There we go.
Oh, yep, same guy. There's a few like this. It's that was
Nice.
one of our windows last year. The windows seem to get bigger every year, and it's even bigger this year. The machine in there was loaned to us by Target. People might recognize it.
Yep.
We use the same branding every year. The Canny Have Yourself a Canny Clever Christmas. That seems to have stuck. We use the local independent type strap lines. People seem to like the picture. It seems to drag them in. And we did have Kevin the Carrot last year as well. So we've got two of them this year. We also decided to take in and refurbish stuff for local charities to give on to families. So when people are buying a new PC, they generally dump their old stuff on one. So this is how we get rid of it. Oh, that's Santa. And we're stood in front of one of the electric cars at the minute. I think that's a nice 4-wheel drive Mercedes, but up to age 6, I believe. Oh, yeah. Santa was called a few names by a local person crossing the road not far along. Santa's, bearing in mind this was middle of September in the blazing sunshine. Santa told them they were now on the naughty list and they might not get any Christmas presents this year. So we'll see what happens. He's into VR as well, so that's he had a little go on that. But it's I think over the next few weeks, Santa's in next Monday, visit from the North Pole, obviously, and he's going to be taking some photos with products and doing little TikTok videos. And there he is with a green Lamborghini this year. So that's we'll see if we can sell some cars this year. So we're getting into car sales as well now.
He's a used car salesman.
That's it.
Well, it's a case of trying everything, I mean,
Yeah. Well, in your defense, if those had been out when I was a kid, I would have put my bid in for one just as pretty. They only came out when my brother came along.
yeah.
So
That window was at the same time as the white window, as I called it.
I like that window.
That when the lights are on, that was before we turned the lights on. But I think it took 4 of us 6 hours to put both windows in. We've got a poppy window in at the minute for the remembrance stuff.
To me, there's nothing like a little toy train at Christmas.
Yeah. Well,
There's just
we actually have
something about them.
Yeah. We have a DJ comes in as well because we sell the DJ kit now as well, so keeps the kids entertained. When we have the doors open, we turn the music up. Kind of gets people coming in as they walk past. So it's just trying to attract everybody, really. Oh, yeah. That's Santa again, but he's there in person if you want to come and see him. He's that was last year's window. So sorry, not last year, the year before. So you can see they get bigger every year.
That train has rims on it.
Oh, we've just. I think last year we filled it full of computer accessories. So it comes in useful. We move things around. We even had fake snow on the floor last year, but this year things have stepped up a notch. And
I
that's what
love this.
that's our company Christmas card that goes out every year to
That's
customers.
beautiful.
It's well, you can probably hear the snoring at the minute, so I'll apologise for that. But yeah, more Santa.
Very good.
Uh,
Lovely.
There we go. I think these are all looking familiar, but yeah. So
Yeah.
there we go. Oh,
I
Santa
like
with a
this
shotgun.
one.
Oh
That's me.
yeah,
That's me on
we
Christmas Day.
yeah we tried a few little different things last year. So we found a lot of gaming type pictures that were Christmas related, and then customized them. So it got a bit of attention. Not the attention we wanted, but some parents didn't like the fact that Santa had a shotgun. But
But that's
you know,
Mrs. Santa. That's
yeah,
Mrs. Santa. It's not Santa.
I
it's
know.
one of those things. You can't win everything. So it's a case of trying everything.
But there's
And
a reason she's got a shotgun. You called up Santa on Christmas Day after he's already worked hard delivering your toys. He's at home. He's trying to spend one day with her, and that's why she's got the shotgun.
yeah. Well,
Totally.
this year, I think Christmas Eve is a Sunday this year, so we're open until about 2 o'clock on the Sunday, and everything will sell between now and that Christmas Eve. We give the parents the opportunity to store it at the shop, so we can keep it upstairs. So we're charging, I think, £7.50, and Santa's coming with her to drop it off in the van if they're local. So we're kind of Santa's coming in on that Christmas Eve to drop off all the presents. So we're trying to keep it as real as we can.
Very good.
Okay. Right. It's, well, past time. So let's just quickly go around the room. Is there anything you would like to add on the end of the show, Will?
No, just I'm an envy of Ken's setup. He's got it's very good, professional, lovely pictures. I love
We'll
the
try.
the poppy the poppy window he's got every year. That's
Yeah.
very stunning. Actually, it's very good.
Yeah,
And yeah, there's a within the group. There's a lot we can learn from each other, and this is just a tip of the iceberg. Yeah.
Yeah, I must admit, the way Ken dresses his windows and stuff like that does well. Even the inside of the store
It's
looks
second to
amazing.
none.
It's we're going to be doing a few tours around next year, and I'm definitely putting Kenny Clever on the list of
Yes.
places to go see at some point. So definitely like to see that in person. So yeah, definitely there. Ken, is there anything you want to add on?
I think the only thing I would say is, yes, we've worked hard to get the windows the way they are, and it's developed over years. It's not just happened overnight. So it's a case of don't be frightened to experiment, try different things.
Yeah.
Sure, if in doubt, we found if there's spare space in the window, if in doubt, fill it with balloons. The kids love it. It's just try all sorts.
Sometimes it's not going over the top. Sometimes just being minimalistic can help.
Yeah.
Sometimes,
Yeah.
and one thing I must admit I like is that you're not covering your windows up with stickers. You're actually using the windows in the way they're intended to be used.
And I like the way that you didn't put the snow on the window.
Yeah.
You put it down on the
Mhm.
ground.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah,
We like people to see right through the shop. You see, that's
Yeah.
it. And that was a hint that John Lewis gave us when we did some training with them. People have got to be able to see through the window into the shop, so it doesn't put them off the. It's got to be inviting. Remove every barrier you can. As long as it's bright and they can see it, they'll come in.
Well, to me, the clean window look is a lot better if you have your posters. If you're using posters, have them on a stand in the window than to have them plastered all over the window where I don't know where to look first.
That's it. A lot of people have gone down that route of having decals all over the windows, covers up 50%, if not more of it. And don't get me wrong, there's some that look really, really good and look really smart and nice. But the catch is you can't change that around every week. Otherwise, it's going to cost you a fortune getting new ones printed out and fitted every week and so forth. With a store, you need to have something open and clear what people can see and change it around to attract people's attention. Because once they've seen it once, they're not going to look at it again unless it looks different. And obviously, that's what you're doing. And obviously, you're fitting themes with different times
I think
of
the
year.
only other thing I'd probably add, is a case of don't be frightened to react to local current events or even current events in the world. I mean, when the Ukraine war happened, or started, I should say, it's still going, we changed the windows the same day, yellow and blue, and the locals absolutely loved it. And the amount of other shops around us who decided to follow suit, it actually felt quite nice.
You're a trendsetter.
Yeah,
Yeah.
apparently so. I
There
mean,
you
we
go.
are the biggest independent on the street. So, I mean, the first year people looked at us and thought, well, what are you going to do? And then they complained that they had to up the game a bit. So,
That's it. Right, guys, we're going to have to pretty much finish it there. One thing I'm going to mention is marketing before we go. A lot of people struggle doing artwork and design and stuff like that, get the marketing done, especially for social media and stuff. There is a website, you may have come across it, you may not have. They have free and paid for versions. It's called Canva. I've not used any associations or anything like that with it, so I'm not getting paid to say this. But use it. You'd be surprised. There's lots of, all you do in a lot of cases is there's a theme. You basically type in search what you're looking for first and choose the format, so landscape, portrait, whatever. So if you're wanting a Christmas theme, it'll show you a Christmas. You can just change the text. And if you want to change the picture, you can put the picture in and then press the remove background button, and it gets rid of the background and makes it stand out there. It literally takes seconds to do, and you can download it in pretty much whatever format you want. And it's not just pictures, they have videos on there, and that's called Canva. I'll put that in chat.
yeah, if anybody's in any doubt, if they look at any of our socials or posters, that is all Canva.
Oh, very good.
There's
another one. There's another one called postermywall.com. That's very similar to Canva. It's very good as well.
Yeah, there's
Canva's
plenty
good.
of tools out there to help people these days.
And don't be afraid to ask your distributors.
Yeah,
A
that's
lot
true.
of your distributors have point of sale or little posters already made up that can get you started if you're just starting out in the game. That
Well,
they look decent. And
if I could just mention, Target sent me some artwork last week. They've done a Christmas gift guide and left blank spaces for to add bits, add phone numbers, pricing. I haven't put any pricing on it. And they've basically said, if you need it customizing, they'll do it.
exactly.
That's it. It's pretty good. That's nice run to do. So yeah, so Canva or other things, there's plenty out there for video as well as pictures, and some of it is even free. Obviously, Canva gives you more options. You can pay for it, but to get you started and try it out, it's well worth it. And even if you do pay, it's something like, I can't remember how much it's like £10 a month or something like that.
It's £10.99 a month I pay, and you
there
get
you go then.
3
So,
seats, I think.
it's pretty good, and again, no affiliations or anything on that. Just go to canva.com and so forth. Let's quickly go for a chat. William says he's got a link there. It's on the screen if for anyone who wants to click on it. If you use Photoshop, you can use for content. So obviously, use that. So it's called FreePick. That's PIK.com. Have a look at that. So that's pretty good. I think Carl said as well earlier on. Customer placed a deposit as well for a PC. Then the customer called back because it was Black Friday, wanted the model numbers or the parts so we could find out the parts all cheaper and so forth. Obviously, the customer went away happy, but it felt quite, obviously.
I would have been annoyed. I would have been annoyed.
Exactly. It's one reason when we do builds, we don't itemize the parts or so forth. It's like, this is a priceless system with a built-in. We're not itemizing every single thing on there because we used to get a few people try that one on. So if they want to find the prices as well, that's for them, but we won't build it if they brought the parts in. So that was up to them. Right, guys, we're going to call it there then. So I'd like to say thank you for Will. We'll say thank you for Ken. I'm not going to say thank you for Cormac because he's buggered off. So, but also thank you for Jen for joining us on the show as usual, and thank you for everyone who did make it through to the end. So thanks again, everyone, for watching, and we'll all see you. Well, it's going to be actually the next show's in a few weeks away because we've got a few things planned. So I think we've got one planned on the 14th of December, which is like a vendor special. What's it called? Good question. It's to do with vendors anyway. So, but we'll post more information about it. We're just waiting to get some people signed up. I know VIP will be taking part, and Spire's taking part as well. We are trying to get other distributors to take part. If you are a distributor and you want to take part, for example, Target, CMS, whoever else, let us know.
The title of the show is "You Know It Makes Sense."
Yeah.
And it's why it's better to buy from a disty than an unknown Del Boy.
Okay. Or potentially Amazon will chuck in there as well. But there we go. Right, so we'll see you guys in a few weeks' time, if not before. Otherwise, have a good one. And before we do go, I'm just going to leave you with this.
Are you looking for gear that delivers style, reliability and value? Then you're going to love what Aerocool has to offer. We are more than just a brand. We are a community of people who share a passion for PC gaming and hardware. Our diverse product portfolio is a reflection of our enthusiasm. We have been delivering dependable PC hardware and more in the market for over 20 years. Our customers trust and support us because of our great value products that don't compromise on quality or aesthetics. But don't just take our word for it. Come and see for yourself at our booth and check out our latest products. You will be blown away by what Aerocool has to offer.